Hi, I'm Rashonda. I'm the creator of this YouTube channel, as well as the artbyro.com website, where you can find over 250 art and drawing tutorials. So be sure to check that out, but of course, watch the video first. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be drawing this fun little snowman. It's great for beginners and perfect for artist trading cards, which is what I'm going to be doing mine on. And if you're not familiar with what artist trading cards are, check out the description box. There is some information in there for you and a freebie you can download. And on that note, let's go ahead and get started by going over to this art studio and working on some drawings. Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be drawing this fun little snowman, and hopefully you feel inspired to make your own, and maybe that you want to draw along with me. So let's go ahead and get started by doing some basic shapes. I want the head's going to be way up here, the body's going to be down here. So I can draw, the body is going to be coming off the bottom of the page. And by the way, I'm using an artist trading card today. If you've seen some of my previous videos, then you already know I love using artist trading cards for my artwork. And then I sometimes will trade them. And if not, they just go in a little binder and I keep a nice little portfolio of my artwork, and then I can either look at it and see what kind of stuff I've done in the past, or if I decide to trade them with other people, then I can go ahead and do that. So that's why I like using artist trading cards. They're smaller, they save time. If you're not familiar with what they are, check out the description box. There's a freebie in there that tells you all about artist trading cards, how to make your own blank cards, and what you need to do if you're interested in trading them. So I have the circle for the head, and then over here I'm going to put he's going to have like a little Santa hat on, and it's just going to go off the page a little bit here. So we're just going to kind of rough that in. And then if you want, you can draw some guides on the face. So here's our line of symmetry. His eyes are going to be way up here, and then his nose will be down here, and the mouth will be down in here. So now that we have some basic guidelines drawn out, we can go ahead and start adding in the detail. So let's go ahead and let's start with the hat, because the nose is actually going to come up and probably cover up part of the hat. So now we have where the basic layout of where the hat's going to go. And we want to add those extra details in. You can erase if you need to as you go, or we can clean that up later. So I want to make the hat so it's kind of uneven. I don't want just plain straight lines. I think it's a little bit more interesting if you add some little folds and some wrinkles in it. Gives it a little bit of character. And again, you can let it go right off the side of the page, that's fine. And then we'll bring this up, we'll have another little fold here, and then have it come off just right up off the edge of the page there. And then this part is going to come down, again, go off the side of the page, and then we'll just have a fold come up here. And then we can do the little ball at the end of it. And again, make it uneven, put some folds in there, some overlapping, just to make it look a little bit more interesting, a little more dynamic. Okay, so now we can do the shape of the head if we want. That's really not gonna matter too much. It's just gonna be a circle. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. If you've ever made a snowman, you know them snowballs don't quite do what you want them to do. So the base of the nose is going to be curved, and we're going to draw it way up into here. And again, you want it to be a little uneven, not super straight lines. We got a carrot for a nose, and carrots are definitely not straight. They have little curves and bumps to them. And then we can put some contour lines in here if we want. Those little ridges on the carrots. Add a little bit of extra detail to it. So now the eyes are going to be up here. And then this one's going to be tucked behind the hat a little bit. And then the mouth is going to be a series of smaller circles. And you can make these a little bit smaller, you can make them a little bit bigger, that's up to you. And then let's go ahead and give him a scarf. So the scarf's gonna go down here like this. This is gonna fold up and around. He'll have it wrapping down here, and then this one's gonna come out like that. So just rough out a quick idea of where it's going to go. And then again, let's make some wrinkles and some folds. This one's going to fold over the top, making some uneven lines, some folds coming down here. And then this one, so this comes up here. His body's going to be over here a little bit, so make sure it includes that bottom part of the body. So this will be the bottom snowball. And then this one will come up and around. Down here we'll put some folds in there. Make sure it comes down to where his body's going to be over here. And it's going to connect to this one, so make sure those are lined up. And then this bottom one, so these two are going to connect because this is this piece coming around here. Making it uneven again, put some folds in there. Same thing down here. So there's his scarf. So that's pretty much it for the drawing itself. And now we can add an outline to it with a black pen, or you could use a black marker. And then we can clean up our pencil drawing, and then we'll be able to add some color. I have my black pen. This time I'm using the Edding. These are newer. I just started using these. Still trying them out, getting a feel for them a little bit. But they have, you can get a pack of them with different size tips on them, which is really nice. So for this one, I want kind of a heavy outline. And you can use, this comes in a pack of 4. They were pretty inexpensive. But you could use the smaller one. You could use a real small one if you want a nice thin outline. Or you could use a heavier outline. Use the bigger one and make a heavier outline. That's entirely up to you and the look you're going for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace over all of the pencil lines that I'm keeping and just kind of ignoring all those little sketchy lines. So I'm literally just tracing over these lines. And then once this is done, the outline's finished, and we can go over top of everything with the eraser and clean this drawing up. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, get this outline all done. I'm just going to use a regular block eraser to clean up my pencil lines when I'm done, and I will be back with you when all of that's finished. Outline is all done now, so it's time to add some color to this. I'm going to be using marker today. Colored pencil would work, crayon would work, whatever preferred medium you have. But the way I like to work is to fill in the base of the shape. So in this case, this area with the nose, with the carrot, put my lighter color down first, and then add a darker color to give it a little bit of depth, to add some variation to it. We can add some by those lines there. And then what I usually will do is take the lighter color and go back over top and soften up those edges. So I like to use 2 or 3 colors for each area. Since these areas are fairly small, I'm just going to do 2. And then I'll do the same thing with the hat. I'm going to make the hat red. And then fill in a darker red. And what you can do if you go out of the line a little bit is you can take a colorless blender and kind of erase that a little bit and soften up that color if you go out of the edge. Now you can also use the colorless blender for blending your 2 colors together. I like just using the lightest color to do it, but that's just a matter of personal preference. You can do whatever you like. And you could use the same type of a technique for colored pencils. You could put the lighter color down and then add some darker areas if you wanted to. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the red. Just kind of go along the edges. Add some darker areas to it, and then I'll go ahead and soften that up again with the lighter red. So in picking your colors, you need to make sure the colors are similar enough that they'll blend together if you want smooth transitions, but they also need to be different enough that you can see a difference in the two of them. So it's kind of a little bit of a sweet spot you have to find in there. And then for the scarf, I'm going to use purple, and I'll do the same thing with the scarf by filling in the lightest color as my base and then adding that darker color over the top. And just anywhere where you want it to be a little bit darker. You could also just go along the edges. Adding a different color, different value of the color will make it look a little bit more interesting. Or you could do just a solid color if you want. So I'm going to finish doing that with the scarf. And then for the snowman, for the white areas, I'm just going to put this grayish color. It's kind of a blue-gray. I'm just going to add this in a little bit just to break up all this white area so it's not just plain old white. Just go around the edges, and then the same thing with all this down here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I'm going to speed it up, and I will be back to finish the drawing. Everything's colored in. As you can see, I added this kind of fuchsia color to the background. And then the last thing I like to do with my drawings is to add white with a Jelly Roll pen. And this is optional, of course. You can add some white highlights or leave them off. I like adding them in just to break up these big areas of color a little bit. And you can do straight lines, you can do little hash marks, whatever suits your style and the look and feel you're going for on your drawings. And then we can add a little bit up here. And then that's gonna wrap it up for this. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you feel inspired to do some of your own artwork. And I will see you in the next one. Happy creating! Well, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you feel inspired to do some of your own artwork. And before you leave, if you did enjoy it, please give us a like and subscribe if you want to get notified of future videos. And don't forget to check out the description box. There's some links in there to some freebies and some other good information. and I will see you in the next video. Bye!